Arthur inspects a heavy iron company safe in the paymaster's office, its iron door swinging slowly open to reveal empty coin trays and dust-covered ledgers untouched by looters. Arthur, a 42-year-old Caucasian male historian with short dark brown hair, average build, wearing a thick tweed brown overcoat and a dark wool vest, steps gingerly into the silent, mist-choked street. The wind carries strange, unnatural whispers between the rotting timber buildings, sounding uncannily like frantic human voices calling out for help from deep beneath the cold, unyielding earth. Back in 1882, this settlement erupted overnight when massive veins of pure silver were uncovered, drawing thousands of hopeful prospectors into the deadly, isolated wilderness. The brutal mountain winters cut the town off entirely from civilization, leaving the desperate miners trapped in claustrophobic darkness with dwindling supplies and rapidly fraying psychological stability. Beneath the town square, a labyrinth of dark mining tunnels stretched for miles into the mountain core, where men toiled away in perpetual dampness and suffocating claustrophobia. Miners began reporting terrifying auditory hallucinations echoing from the deepest chambers, metallic scratching noises that did not match the steady rhythm of pickaxes hitting solid quartz. Tragedy struck without warning when massive structural cave-ins trapped dozens of workers underground, entombed alive in pitch blackness while their frantic families wept above ground. Rescue teams descended into the toxic fumes with faulty oil lamps, only to encounter oppressive shadows that seemed to actively push them back from the blocked tunnels. At the heart of the settlement stood the grand Victorian town hall, its tall clock tower frozen permanently at midnight, as if time itself had violently fractured here. Inside the dusty council chambers, official records document a growing panic among the town leaders as ordinary citizens began vanishing from locked bedrooms without any signs of forced entry. Entire families disappeared over the course of a single freezing night, leaving warm meals untouched on dining tables and lanterns still burning brightly in empty hallways. Search parties forced open heavy oak doors only to find pristine rooms utterly devoid of life, windows bolted shut from the inside and no tracks in the surrounding snow. The town physician recorded bizarre medical symptoms among the survivors before he too vanished, noting extreme paranoia, insomnia, and claims of hearing voices inside their own blood vessels. His recovered journal pages described patients staring endlessly at blank walls, convinced that something ancient was slowly waking up underneath the town foundations. At the edge of town, the wooden church stands with its steeple leaning at an alarming angle, casting a long skeletal shadow across the overgrown graveyard. Headstones in the surrounding cemetery are worn completely blank by relentless mountain winds, their inscriptions erased as if the deceased were deliberately unwritten from history. Local folklore insists that those buried during the harsh winter months never truly rested, trapped between the frozen bedrock and the dark forests surrounding the valley. Inside the ruined general store, rusted tin cans and rotten flour sacks remain frozen in time, untouched by looters who feared the curse hanging over the empty valley. Spools of faded ribbon and broken lanterns sit on counters where customers fled in terror mid-transaction, abandoning their worldly possessions to escape into the freezing darkness. In the abandoned saloon, an upright piano sits against the wall, its ivory keys missing and its strings occasionally vibrating with phantom notes when nobody is near. Travelers brave enough to camp near the ruins have reported hearing mournful ragtime tunes drifting through the midnight air, playing to an empty room of ghosts. The blacksmith forge remains choked with cold soot, an iron anvil sitting like a monolithic altar to industry swallowed by the relentless advance of mountain wilderness. Puzzlingly, visitors have occasionally touched the anvil and found it burning hot to the touch, despite decades of complete abandonment and freezing winter temperatures outside. At the northern edge of the town stands the small wooden schoolhouse where children once recited lessons under the watchful eye of a strict Victorian schoolmistress. Inside, a slate chalkboard still bears complex mathematical equations written in crisp white chalk, preserved indefinitely in the dry, freezing mountain air. Small wooden desks line the room, each bearing carved initials and inkwells filled with dried black residue, as if the students simply stepped out for a brief recess. Teachers and historians who visited the site after its abandonment frequently reported hearing small running footsteps darting across the floorboards directly behind them. The once luxurious Hotel St. Clair catered to wealthy investors and mine owners, boasting crystal chandeliers and plush velvet furniture imported all the way from New York. Today, the Grand Lobby is a skeletal ruin of rotting timbers, yet travelers claim they can smell expensive pipe tobacco and heavy Victorian perfume hanging in the cold drafts. Room 306 holds a particularly dark reputation, the site where a wealthy baron locked himself inside before disappearing entirely during a blizzard. A massive Victorian vanity mirror still hangs on the wall of that desolate room, though those who peer into its glass often see reflections that do not match reality. Legends claim the glass traps the souls of everyone who looks too long into its surface, slowly pulling their consciousness into the dark silver backing. In the local telegraph office, copper wires dangle limply from the ceiling like severed nerves, once connecting this isolated mountain hell to the bustling outside world. The final message ever sent from this station was a frantic stream of gibberish, ending with repeated tapping spelling out a warning that nobody survived to explain. When the remaining townsfolk finally fled in 1894, they packed their wagons in absolute silence under the cover of night, abandoning all their worldly goods. Wheel tracks left in the mud froze instantly in the bitter cold, pointing away from the towns like skeletal fingers, warning others never to return to the valley. Survivors reported that as they crested the mountain ridge, they looked back to see glowing yellow lights moving from house to house, though the town was supposed to be completely empty. In the decades since, reckless urban explorers and curious tourists who attempted to spend a night in the ruins have emerged with harrowing tales of psychological torment. As daylight rapidly fades behind the jagged peaks, the temperature drops precipitously, and the oppressive silence of the ghost town grows heavier and more suffocating. Arthur notices a faint amber glow flickering down the abandoned street, moving steadily between houses that have no electricity, doors, or living inhabitants. A cold dread settles into his bones as he realizes the light is approaching his exact location, carried by an invisible figure gliding silently over the frozen mud. Heavy, deliberate footsteps echo on the rotting wooden porch just outside his hiding spot, sounding distinct and heavy despite the lack of any visible person. A tall, distorted shadow stretches across the interior wallboards, cast by an unseen visitor standing right outside the open doorway under the pale moonlight. A freezing gust of wind sweeps through the enclosed room, smelling intensely of damp earth, old iron, and the unmistakable scent of winter frost. The whispering voices return, louder now, echoing directly inside his mind rather than through the air, speaking in an archaic Victorian dialect he barely recognizes. Desperate to escape the enveloping terror, he turns toward the rear window, only to find the glass completely frosted over with intricate, claw-like ice patterns. Through the frosted glass, dozens of dark silhouette figures stand motionless in the street outside, staring upward directly toward his second-floor hiding place. A heavy hand begins violently rattling the exterior door handle, trying to force open the rusted lock as wooden splinters begin to crack under the pressure. The antique brass lock snaps with a sharp metallic crack, and the heavy door swings slowly inward to reveal absolute, consuming darkness on the other side. Drawn by an irresistible, hypnotic compulsion, Arthur steps forward past the threshold, leaving his dropped journal behind on the dusty floorboards. He descends the rotting wooden stairs and steps out into the freezing mountain fog, swallowed instantly by the thick gray mist that blankets the silent street. All across the ghost town, windows simultaneously flicker to life with warm amber lamplight, as if welcoming another permanent resident to their eternal community. Morning light will break over the mountains tomorrow, revealing empty dirt roads, locked doors, and one more abandoned coat resting on the silent porch. The mountain claims its own with quiet efficiency, preserving its tragic history not in books or museums, but in flesh and bone locked beneath the earth. Whenever curious travelers venture near the pass, they report seeing a lone figure in a tweed coat walking eternally through the mist toward the mine shafts. For those who seek the secrets of Victorian ghost towns, soon learn a terrifying truth. Once you enter their borders, the town never truly lets you leave. Listen closely when the wind howls through mountain passes, and you might just hear the silver miners whispering warnings to anyone foolish enough to listen. History is filled with dark chapters best left unopened, resting peacefully beneath the dust of time rather than disturbing the spirits that guard them. If you enjoyed uncovering the chilling secrets of these forgotten Victorian ruins, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more dark historical mysteries. Would you dare spend a single night alone in an abandoned Victorian ghost town? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and share this video.